Blue pill or red pill on 2020?
Dude, give me like a couple of blue pills. Just give me all the blue pills. I'll take them.
I don't
How about
care.
you?
I'll OD, whatever.
All right, thanks for joining us today as we take a look back at the film The Matrix. And we have a special guest host with us today, content creator, filmmaker, and fellow YouTuber, SIDNEY DIONGZON. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me, guys. Excited to be here.
Yeah, you
So I heard you and Will go way back.
Oh gosh, it's like 10 years now. I think it's
Man,
about 10
10
years.
or 11 years, 2008, 2009, one of those sweet
Yeah,
spots.
I think what was cool is like it was rare to find like not just good friends, but good friends that loved movies. And so I remember meeting Will, and he just loved movies. And he also went to film school. I was like, oh, sweet, I'm gonna get on with this guy like really well. And so, where did you go to film school, Will? Was it
Cal State
Fullerton?
Long Beach.
Long Beach? Gotcha.
Yep.
Yeah.
You
Yeah, and I
went
went
to
to Chapman,
Yeah.
and just we connected real fast.
Well, once again, thanks for coming on. I'm actually a big fan. I've been subscribing to your channel for quite a while, watching all the latest news.
Oh,
Picked up
right.
a Sony
Thanks,
ZV-1
man.
as well, based on your
Oh.
recommendation.
Love it. It's like such a good camera. Oh,
Yeah. I'm actually shooting with it right now. It's my webcam, just FYI
nice.
for everyone
Okay.
listening. All right, we're going to dive right into The Matrix. And the first thing I want to talk about is honest reactions. This is a segment where I reveal interesting facts about the movie we are reviewing. And then I want you guys to let me know your honest reactions. A few things first off, The Matrix won 4 Academy Awards. I believe it won every award it was nominated for, all the technical categories: Best Visual Effects, Best Sound Mixing, Best Film Editing, as well as Best Sound Editing.
Yeah.
My first question for you guys has to do with bullet time. It was an effect conceived and created specifically for The Matrix. It's that shot of the camera swirling around Neo as he is performing a gravity-defying backbend. I wanted to get your guys' first reactions when you had seen this.
I remember not only just being blown away by like the effect that we just saw, but I think as a storytelling tool, you were able, as an audience, to kind of see through Neo's perspective that he was actually moving fast. Like, we don't actually see him move fast. To him, it was in slow motion. He was trying to dodge the bullets. But to Trinity, like, we don't see her perspective.
Yeah.
But, you know, she said, like, oh, how did you move that fast? How do you move like them? It was such a cool way just to see, like, Neo evolve, like, right before our very eyes, you know? Like, even, like, movies that would come out afterwards, kind of copying the bullet time effect, it didn't really have any weight bearing into to those movies just because they just did it for the sake of it, you know what I mean? You know, i.e. Transformers or whatever. But the fact that they were the first ones to actually do it, but not just, you know, have that, but actually use it as a proper storytelling tool, like, it just blew my mind.
I remember being super inspired, like, and just watching it, I thought, how the frick can they accomplish this? Because I want to replicate it. And when I found out that they actually use 120 digital cameras, I thought, yeah, that's too much for me. And like people like who's it, Freddie W, those guys who were into all that After Effects and all those like effects, man, I don't know, it inspired me and really helped like kind of guide me towards more wanting to go into film.
I was blown away by it. That shot of Neo dodging bullets was actually used in the trailer and the commercials.
Yes.
And it was funny. The marketing campaign behind this movie, I think, was genius because they gave nothing away except a few cool shots, one of which was Neo doing that gravity-defying backbend. And then you hear Morpheus come in the commercial. Unfortunately, no one can be told what the Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself. And it's
What
like
a
he's
line.
talking to us, saying, go watch this in the theater. And that's really all they showed, really. And then I think that's what made the movie-going experience such an amazing thing because we knew nothing going into this film of what it was really about. Speaking about one of the other action scenes, Neo and Trinity's 3-minute lobby shootout took 10 days to shoot. No CGI was used. All the explosions and gunfire were practical effects. I wanted to ask you guys, does this rank as one of the best shootouts in movie history?
Hell yes.
Oh, by far, because like it was like not only cool, because you know we like to see action and guns and all that stuff, but like the fact that it was all practical effects, just traditional stunt work, and just really cool music in the background. Like you had a good time watching that scene, you know?
I love practical effects where the actors can actually react to something, and I think that it just made it more believable and authentic with all the damage that you see in the lobby, like everything being destroyed. It was the most epic and breathtaking scene I've ever seen in my entire life. So yes.
And what I really liked was just like the direction of it and the acting. Like even to this day, like you don't really see the action stars, perform like Trinity and Neo did. Like they just did it very seamlessly. Like they weren't out of breath. They were very, I don't know, they were in the Matrix, they were in character, but you just don't really see that. Where, everyone else like, where is it? Where is it? Oh, it's time to blow. Let's get out of here. You know what I mean? Like kind of over the top. So it was like just a really cool action scene.
I remember when I first saw this scene, I was blown away. I think there was like whoops and hollers in the theater, and they had recently just released this film, the 4K version with a Dolby Atmos soundtrack. So anytime anyone would come over, I would say, "Hey guys, you got to listen to this scene," and like you would literally hear like the tiles falling off the pillars all around you, and just the attention to detail with the sound design that they put in was incredible. And I also love the fact that when you see them literally mow through with like 50, 60 people in the scene, that you don't feel any guilt whatsoever because the body count is 0 because they didn't really kill anybody. They were just knocked out of the Matrix. So I love that they kind of put that in there, and it was like a guilt-free massacre that you just saw, which I thought worked really, really well.
That is the perfect way to describe it.
Now, I think this has been pretty well publicized here, that Will Smith was offered the role of Neo before Keanu Reeves was. Johnny Depp, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Nicolas Cage were also considered. Now, I wanted to ask you guys, was Neo a plug-and-play role where any of these actors could have just portrayed him, or was Keanu Reeves the perfect fit?
I don't know. If I picture Will Smith be Neo, I have to picture him saying the line, "I got to get me one of these."
I have got to get me one of these.
Like vice versa. Like there's no other actor that could portray Captain Hiller in Independence Day. Will Smith's character. It's like you just can't. And so it's kind of hard to say after seeing the movie. But especially with Nick Cage being a candidate, I definitely didn't see that.
No.
So yeah, I don't know if I could picture any other actor.
I think honestly Tom Cruise could have also played this role.
Really?
But only because he could, to me, I think he could have brought a bit more depth and is amazing with fight choreography. I think like he could have brought more emotion to the character of Neo. But this is like based on how well Cruise did in films such as Minority Report and Edge of Tomorrow. Like when I think of sci-fi films as well.
Well, for me, I think it would have been intriguing, the idea of Nicolas Cage waking up, seeing that the reality is what it is, and seeing him lose his shit could be pretty amazing. I think that would have been awesome to see. Wanted to go straight into our main reviews of the film. I wanted to ask you guys, like, where were you when you first saw this film, and what was your reaction to it? And does it still hold up now?
Yeah, I remember not expecting a lot, just, waiting to have a good time, kind of like watching a Bad Boys film or something. But yeah, I just remember being just blown away. Wow, 99. That's crazy.
Yeah, I know.
1999. I think it still holds up today. Like, honestly, such a good story.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I was a freshman in high school, and I know I watched it in theaters. I can't remember just who I watched it with, but I was like watching the film. I thought I was half confused and half amazed. I think during the time, all I thought was how cool the action sequences and how cool so many of the shots were. But when it came to the story, I was just like, what? Like, what's going on?
Did it make you question your existence after the movie?
Okay,
you watched it?
So when you say that, it's the fact that it became like the main question of philosophy of life, and like what if the world we live in wasn't real, and it was becoming like a trend for like example of like church leaders and friends. It's like, what if we're not really here, guys? It's like, okay, what are we, hippies now? Like, what's going on? Like, it just became a huge trend. But
yeah,
I mean, it took me a couple more views in the theaters to get a better grasp of the concept of the story, and eventually it did blow my mind, and it really took sci-fi to the next level.
I mean, for me, I first saw this when I was a freshman at UCLA, which dates me. I feel like the old man of the group, the elder statesman here.
Freshman in high school, freshman in college. Yeah. Wow.
But yeah, I saw it at the Foxman in Westwood on opening weekend, and just like you said, I was expecting like just an action movie. I wasn't expecting the deep philosophical questions that the movie presented. Definitely one of the best movie-going experiences that I've ever had. It was the first DVD I ever spent my own money on. To me, the movie was essentially a repackaged Star Wars where Neo was Luke, and learning to control the Matrix is like Luke learning the Force. Morpheus is Obi-Wan. So a little bit like Star Wars meets Terminator. But honestly, I felt like the movie was so much more than that. Because this movie dealt with themes that are so much more relevant for a modern era. Even today, I think the idea of being anesthetized by a digital world meant to keep us in line is something that ironically hits a little too close to home, especially now that we're all on quarantine and we all have our faces on our phones and on our computer screens a little bit more than maybe we should. But yeah, the whole idea idea of, if we had the choice of being in a digital world rather than seeing the truth of what life is, like what would you choose? That's still something that resonates today, because you hear people ask the question all the time, blue pill or red pill. And it's like, it created that before this movie that didn't exist. All right, guys, favorite moments from the movie.
What freaked me out, but was like, whoa, it was really crazy, is when Neo wakes up in the pod and sees the real world, like for what it is, and how freaking jacked up we made it. Of course, like the fight scene from between Neo and Morpheus, where he's learning and training and he knows kung fu. I don't know why, but when Cypher meets with Agent Smith at the restaurant and he was eating the steak.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was the sound effects, whatever, but I was like, they made that steak look so freaking good. Like, I don't know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love the I guess it's not the armory room, but it's like the blank room, that blank space.
The construct.
Yes, the construct. Like,
yeah.
And the fact that you can like learn a skill like kung fu by just uploading it from a disc or a drive, like that was really cool. Like, I've never seen that. And I think when we first saw that scene, there was like this really cool blocking with the camera where Morpheus is holding the remote or something like that. Then it would turn around and be the TV and then a battery or something. I don't know. It seemed seamless. And I'm like, this is nuts. Like, what if this was real? That scene definitely stood out to me.
The entire action set piece leading from the lobby shootout to Morpheus's rescue to the helicopter flight over the city where that entire building bends, that's all one gigantic scene. People forget that the shootout wasn't just by itself, but it was just the beginning piece to this larger set piece. And dude, it was insane. And just the end, that high note when Neo literally flies out of the freaking screen and everyone is like walking out of the theater just so like pumped up because they just had the most amazing movie going experience in their life. I remember just smiling from ear to ear when I came out of the theater. Wanted to ask you guys, let's pick out any moments of the movie, if any, that are weak or maybe you didn't like.
Yeah, there was a totally unnecessary character, but she died when Cypher unplugged her in the real world. Like, I know like her character was meant to die to show us like, oh wow, if you die in the Matrix, or if you get unplugged, then you die, or something like that. So, but it was just I don't know, just a waste of a character, I guess.
So is it like almost like she was set up as a plot device to let
it was
us know
a
how
complete
vulnerable
plot device. Absolutely, absolutely. And I kind of feel bad, but I don't know, if I were an actor hired to do that one role, I'll take it. So.
I think Keanu is a better physical actor than a vocal actor, and I don't mind that, like, given his reputation as an actor. I don't know, I really wish, though, there was just a little bit more depth to his character, but I know this is an action film and a total sci-fi, crazy tech, phenomenon, so I don't mind it.
I kind of have a little theory about that. I think because his life was so monotonous, it almost seemed like he was robotic in a way, like he was part of the program, if you will. So maybe like that was the direction.
And the way he talks too.
And the way he talks too.
All right, overall rating of the film, we rate our movies out of 5 stars. 2.5 stars is considered a barely passing positive rating. 5 stars is movie perfection. Wanted to ask you guys what your rating is of this film.
Easy 4 out of 5.
4.5 out of 5. I think that this film just took sci-fi to another level and brought a provoking question to our society that we still probably will say today: are we living in the Matrix?
Got it.
That's not a rhetorical question I'm asking you guys, really. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I need to know. Am I really breathing? Is this air? Am I really breathing the air?
I give this movie 5 stars. It's a perfect film, perfectly executed with a tried and true story, but with new elements that made it relevant, and it's still relevant today. Before we close, I want to ask both of you one more question. Blue pill or red pill on 2020?
Dude, give me like a couple of blue pills. Just give me all the blue pills. I'll take them.
I don't care. I'll OD, whatever.
I want out of this year as fast as possible.
It almost seems like we're in the Matrix now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I want out.
Yeah, except if it was the Matrix, it wouldn't suck this bad. It would actually be good.
That's true.
we would be thinking good things. We'd be eating rare steak with Cypher. Yeah.
And I know my brain is telling me that this is delicious and savory. But you know what? Ignorance is bliss.
I think that's the exact line, Will.
I think you should treat yourself to a steak today.
I might. I just might. It's a great idea, too.